Hi, welcome to the Pioneer Spotlight. I'm Josh Krupp. Here on the Spotlight every week, we put Pioneer athletics teams, players, and coaches into focus every week. This week on the Spotlight, we shine head coach Tony Grenek of the women's basketball team.
Hi, Josh. How are you doing?
I'm not bad. The women's basketball team, it's been a while since we've seen you in action. We have to go all the way back to last week at Carlo. And that was a big 92-66 win, and defense was a very key part of that game. Take us through the defensive-minded style of play that you took to Carlo and why the press so much throughout the game.
Well, we've been struggling to score lately. You know, our mantra has always been try to hold teams under 60 points. And we have been doing that quite a bit this year, but it really doesn't work if they score 56 or 55 and you're scoring 49 or 50. So, we wanted to try something different, and, we had a day to prepare before we played Carlo. And so we went almost like a 5-in, 5-out sort of thing, subbing every 35 seconds, pressing nonstop, just to see if we can catch them by surprise. And it definitely worked. However, you can't, I don't know if we can do that all the time. There's no doubt about it. We're not 26 points better than Carlo. If you see the second half, they played us even, but that's because their coaches had time to adjust, their players had time to adjust. I just think we caught them by surprise because we haven't done that all year, and we did that in the first half, and it really shook them up a little bit. So, that was a good thing. How often we can do that, I don't know. Carlo exposed it quite a bit in the second half, played us even, but we were fortunate enough to get a win.
And going into this weekend, Point Park with an 8-7 River State's conference record, and a three-way tie there for third place with Rio Grande and West Virginia Tech, and they just happen to be the opponents for this weekend.
Honestly, we're just trying to do anything we can just to win one game. It looks like whoever we would beat, we would get into the playoffs and secure at least a 4 seed. I think if we would win both games, we would lock in the 3 seed. I think if we lose both games, we're definitely out. So, I told the kids at the beginning of the year, I was hoping these last 2 games at the end of the year wouldn't mean anything, and wow, was I wrong. So, really the playoffs start on Friday. We're up against it on the road against a great Rio Grande team, ton of talent, ton of size, excellent point guard. And then, you got to go to West Virginia Tech 2 hours away and on like 14 hours rest the following day. So we definitely have a difficult task at hand.
And injuries have been a big storyline this season, but the team still seems to come out there, and you haven't given up this season, and that's been something that you've prided yourself on this year, is your team doesn't give up, and they come to play every day. How has that really impacted your team this year and kept you in the race?
Well, it makes coaching fun, to be honest with you. I've had a lot of sleepless nights trying to come up with game plans. We've tried to pound the ball inside at the beginning of the year. We've spread the floor and have worked on our outside game in the middle part of the year. We've been doing point guard by committee. We have tried to speed the game up. We've tried to slow the game down. We've played zone. We've played man. I love to press, but we really haven't had the depth in playing on back-to-back days. It's tough to press. But we've pressed some, against Carlo. So, it's been difficult, but it's been fun. Like you said, the kids don't quit. They work their tails off. They're a tough-minded bunch of girls, and I'm very proud of them. It's just that, we hadn't found that cohesiveness, really, just because of everything that's gone on with injuries. And we suffered, it looks like, another significant injury yesterday in practice with Marissa Agers, and she could be done for the year. It looks like she broke her thumb. And we have 4 kids on our roster that average double digits points per game, and 3 of them, it looks like, are out for the season. 2 definitely, and looks like Marissa now. So it's really, if there's a black cloud over me, just be careful, Josh. But because luck really hasn't gone our way. But by the same token, it's been enjoyable coaching this group this year.
And Agers has really stepped up, especially with the loss of your other players and transferring in here this year. But who's been the biggest surprise this season out of the athletes that aren't your top 4 leading scorers?
To be honest with you, I think the biggest surprise, even though she is our leading scorer, is Jania McFadder. And not because of her stats and whatever and shooting the ball or scoring or anything like that. What surprises me is her just being able to step on the floor and compete and play. She's had 2 devastating injuries that she's had to overcome. And it's remarkable. The one girl, Alexis Payne from Rio Grande, and the one player, Mackenzie, from her last name slipping me, from IU East, they suffered the same knee injury as Jania did last year, and they're not back. Alexis Payne still limps around, and the girl from IU East, they're great players, but you're never the same. And for Jania to be able to come back and just even put any type of points on the board or get any type of rebounds, it's absolutely phenomenal to me, because I can't imagine. Like yesterday, she was in probably her 30th ice bath for 12 minutes during practice yesterday, and she gets in an ice bath for 12 minutes of basically freezing your entire body just so she can play. And the heart and dedication that these kids have shown, she really impresses me, just leading by example. And really everybody has stepped up at certain moments and has done great things for us.
And we'll end with this. If you do have a successful weekend, what's the goal moving forward? How do you approach the next week of games, looking forward to the River States Conference tournament?
Well, hopefully we can get in and get a game somewhere. It's going to be very difficult. Number 2, hopefully, if we're still playing, and I believe the playoffs begin on Wednesday, we would take Sunday off. I'm hoping we have 5 players that are able to play on Monday for practice, just because of the way things have been going. But, we can't overlook anything. We're just trying to, once again, I need to adjust my game plan, or our game plan, for Rio because of the situation, and try to, put something together for back-to-back days. That's where, when you play West Virginia Tech, the game plans have to be kind of similar, minor changes. So, we're just trying to honestly get through today and worry about the future at a later time.
One day at a time, of course.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on the Pioneer Spotlight. Point Park women's basketball in action at Rio Grande Friday, West Virginia Tech Saturday. A big weekend. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Point Park Sports for all the latest updates. Tony Grenek.
Thank you.